The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the Board office, City Clerk's office, Public Library, and all Englewood Public Schools, and emailed or faxed to the record, suburbanite, co-presidents of the ETA and EAA, presidents of the parent-teacher organizations, and any person who has requested individual notice and paid the required fee. Roll call.
Mr. Carter? Present. Mr. Redberry? Here. Mr. Feinstein? Mr. Glendale? Here. Mr. Griffin? Here. Mr. Pruitt? Here. Mr. George Garrison? Here.
Here. May we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic, which is a republic, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Okay, good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this meeting. This is a special presentation of the Board of Education by the Superintendent of Schools to discuss the state of the district. Just for, I guess a sense of direction, there will be no question and answer period tonight. At the end of the meeting, everyone will be handed index cards to put your questions on, and the questions will be posted and answered at a later date. Okay? There will be no questions asked by the board at this time. This is strictly a presentation of the superintendent to discuss the state of the Englewood School District. So at this point, if there be no further ado, I present Mr. Robert Kravis, Superintendent of Englewood Schools.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming out this evening. Just to clarify, at the end of the presentation, there will be an email address that's set up in both English and Spanish that you can email any question you may have regarding the presentation. In addition to that, at the back table, there are index cards. If you leave your question in English or Spanish with a contact information, whether email, phone number, whatever you prefer, even an address, we will contact you with the answer to your question within the next 48 hours. We will take the most frequently asked questions and then post them online. That way people can see. And this presentation will be available after midnight tonight on our website. I want to thank the Board of Education. I want to thank the parents, the staff members. I'd like to thank Bergen County's Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Nora Peck, who's here this evening, for her support as we talk about the state of Englewood and its schools. So the QSAC scores we've been talking about, and I wanted to mention them. And you can see we have two slides up tonight, one in English and one in Spanish. It's the Quality Single Accountability Continuum. And every school is evaluated based on these criteria. In 2014, our school district was given a 39%. That number is out of 100%. 39% in instruction and program. What does that mean? Instruction and program means lesson plan, curriculum that's articulated throughout the district. It means matching what we're teaching to standards. Well, we were reevaluated. Happened to be the first week I got here. We're now at 18%. Our fiscal management, 86%, and that stayed constant. Governance went from 72% to 42%. It relies on board policies, and I know the board, this current board is very active in moving forward and getting their policies up to date. Operations, 90% in personnel, we went from 60 to 40%. What does personnel entail? Well, we had some staff members who were in positions that they weren't supposed to be, so we're changing them. We're looking through our processes to see this is not the right way, we should be hiring people. We look at how people are evaluated, which I'll talk about in a moment, where in some cases our staff were evaluated multiple times in 1 week. So that affects our personnel score. So anytime you would see a score below 70, we have to create a corrective action plan. Now these scores were received about 10 days ago. And by state statute, we have to report them out. So this evening, I wanted to make this point. With this, our QSAC scores, in addition, we're going to talk about our CART scores. Because that's the real state of the school. We have our assessments that we give our children, and the scoring that we're being given by the state of where we are. People have said to me, rip the Band-Aid off. Ladies and gentlemen, teachers, administrators, everyone who's here tonight, this is a problem. This is a problem. But guess what? We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it, and I'll tell you how. So first, when I look at a school, I look at finances, academics, facilities, and personnel. Finance, just to clear up things about finances and budgets. The budget means 2% cap, and I apologize if you know this already, but I think it's a good opportunity to tell everybody how that works. 2% is what we are allowed by law to increase our budget. If we choose to, if this Board of Education chooses to. Budget timelines. We started our budgeting process in December. It ends in April. We send our preliminary budget in March. The financial status of this district is very good, actually. However, every year, we have auditors come in here, and they audit our books, just as they would with any other business. And we got a lot of audit recommendations. Things like payroll wasn't approved by the superintendent. It's required. Outstanding purchase orders. We had items that we ordered and we didn't even know. Maybe they were received, maybe they weren't. Who knows? Capital projects. When you see construction going on, or repairs, major repairs, they were underestimated. So therefore, over budget. So we have to, and you've seen over the last several board agendas, having to make adjustments so that we are in compliance. Athletic and scholarship account, never reconciled. Everyone has a checkbook. Everything needs to be reconciled. Extraordinary aid application did not match IEP students. So if your child has an IEP, and in some cases would qualify for additional funding back to the district because those costs were extraordinary, we have to match it with what those services your child receives. And guess what? In some cases they weren't. Formal cash receipts and cash disbursements were never maintained. Failure to go through a bidding process. Or failure to use state contract vendors. Now, some of these recommendations we've had for multiple years. Facilities. So when I got here, if you've seen me, I go around with my camera and I take pictures of things. They even have a picture, I took a picture of the toilet because it was 6 inches too small on either side. And that bothers me. So my first week I got here, if you came to our library at Dwight Morrow High School, you would have seen 2 chandeliers that weren't working. They looked terrible. Well, I invite everybody to go take a look. One of them has been completely repaired. Thank you. We have the sidewalk in front of the middle school falling apart. If you look up, right here, it's peeling. That's scheduled to be fixed over the summer. The walls outside were just recently painted. It's not acceptable. So what we're doing is starting to change these things. Another category I mentioned, personnel. Evaluations have been completed, and in some cases, as I said before, multiple evaluations in 1 week. How can anyone get better if they're being evaluated 3 times in 1 week? Let's be fair. We adjusted our UPC, we call them unique position codes, to align. We had job categories that didn't match. So we're adjusting them. Hiring practices, we've changed. Asking for writing samples, I've spoken at board meetings about. changing the way we hire people, looking for quality people, making sure they're certified, put in the right spot. Everybody needs to get in the right spot on that bus. Academics. I've heard about test scores, I've heard about guidance, programming, scheduling, curriculum, which, by the way, is a school, right? Everything related to a school. Our park scores, if you haven't seen them, here they are, ladies and gentlemen. So we have three categories. In the red, you will see the park states. Those states that have taken the park exam. The light blue is New Jersey. The dark blue, the far right on each column, is Englewood Public Schools. You see some of the scores. This is language arts, grades 3 through 8. I pause, hoping that people start to look at these scores and see we have our work cut out for us. And this is language arts. Grades 9 through 12. Now what I've done is something that I'd like to do from now on is show you four different categories. You see the left is the red, as I mentioned, is the park states. The light blue next to it is New Jersey. The dark blue is Englewood Public Schools. Now, let's talk about where we are. The red number is Dwight Morrow High School. The number next to it is the academies at Englewood. The far right, the yellow, goldenrod, is the Englewood students in the academies. The Englewood students in the academies. Something to say about keeping students in a cohort and focusing on what they like. You can see the results of that. It's mathematics. Again, grades 3 through 8. This is not an easy way, not an easy road, but we will do it. We will do it. Same scenario. And take note, in our Algebra 1, the Englewood students in the academy scored better than the out-of-district overall Englewood out-of-district academy students. That is something. As of now, we have an issue going on. I want to be clear, and I want everybody to know it. Based on the new requirements for a child to graduate high school, which includes the SAT score, a certain SAT score, it includes an AccuPlacer score, which is another assessment. It includes a PSAT score or passing the New Jersey Park exam. If we were to take that category, only 53% of our Dwight Morrow students would graduate. We're looking to use the portfolio assessments to raise that number. The Academy's graduation rate is 100%. So overall, we're at 73%. Now, I wanted to really drive this home and show you a comparison. Patterson's graduation rate is 78%, and their QSAC score in curriculum instruction is 36%. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we're at 18%. Curriculum, identified as a QSAC visit, not aligned at all. Wrong dates on lesson plans, non-existing standards, inconsistent programming. And I like to use the term system of schools approach. If you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. You go to Greco, it's different from McLeod, it's different from Dismas, it's different from the high school. And we have sat in a room, administrators, and found out some problems, but we're going to fix them. We're going to fix them. The math curriculum, some great teachers here talking about what was going on, but we never listened. Guess what? We're listening. Why don't we have algebra for everyone? Scheduling. My first board meeting I attended when I was appointed here, people got up and talked about how it was terrible. That's not acceptable. Just like peeling ceiling is not acceptable. Poor planning and implementation. No timelines established. Now students are starting to plan. We don't even have catalogs in Spanish. Identify our customers. Help our customers. Where do we go from here? Right now, McLeod School, Dismas School, is offering a tutoring program. We're getting as many kids as we can. We're teaching rote mathematics, language arts, we're matching it to what they need to learn to build that skill set that they are missing. Moving them forward, moving them on the continuum so they are up to snuff. We're evaluating our programs for remediation. $1 million is what we spend on remedial programs in this district. Every conversation starts with, what are we doing for remedial? Why? How about what are we doing for kids to learn? Let's change our way of thinking. We've changed the process of hiring. We have created relationships with higher education institutions, working on new systems for communicating everything that's going on here. Developing financial systems to reduce audit recommendations. Conduct return on investments. If we're spending the money, you deserve better and we want to give you better. Training the guidance department in Naviance. We are the only district who hasn't been trained on with training. We're starting SAT tutoring on us for the high school students to get that movement. Medium-term goals. We know that cohort group works. We know that there's something that sparks everybody. Why not take advantage of it? Environmental, social services, police, fire, EMT, and nursing, vocational programming, culinary, automotive, athletics, and sports management program. It's not about just playing sports. It's understanding what does it mean to be an agent? What does it mean to write a contract? Education. Everybody wants to be a teacher. I don't know why, but everybody wants to be a teacher. Why can't we have some seniors getting some credits? We're going to talk about that. Liberal arts, fine and performing arts, which includes graphic design. In this front row, we have Ron Calisi, who's the Dean of Professional Studies at Fairleigh Dickinson. We have Peter Engelwood, who is the Vice Chancellor of Rutgers and Newark. We have a representative for Bergen Community College representing Ursula Daniels, who's the Vice President of Bergen Community. And we have Barbara Angelos, who's the Director of the campus of Englewood Cliffs St. Peter's University. We are working with these universities, and we might have one more to come, we'll announce it soon, help us develop those electives so that every child who graduates from Englewood Public Schools has college credit, has an opportunity. Maybe they don't want to go to college, that's fine, but let's educate them as if they're prepared, because they deserve it. Everyone deserves it, and we are working with this people. We have an opportunity to have students graduate Englewood high schools with 15 to 30 college credits. That first year is going to be on us. So we're going to get rid of those stumbling blocks. We know the biggest problem with education in college level is that first year is the most costly. We know that the children aren't prepared, and that's where we lose them. Guess what? We, Englewood, are going to eliminate that. Get them prepared so they go in as sophomores. So they are prepared to succeed. That's what success, and I thank all of you in the front row for coming tonight to support that, because that's what makes the difference. Long term is to implement these pathway programs. We want to develop better relationships within the city. This is a community. So I put on this pause. So I'm going to ask everybody to just take a breath and turn around and introduce yourself to someone. Because this is the community that will change this school district. So please turn around and one minute. We need to smile more. We need to talk about what good things are available to us. So, I'm going to digress for 1 second. When people ask about questions, the reason why I ask not to do it is because we can't focus on that. That's gotten us to where we are. That's gotten us to where we are, and I don't like that, and nobody in this room should like that. But when I just saw everybody smile because they just met someone, That's what makes the difference. That builds the community. I talk about a triangle. That's the triangle. Coming together for a common purpose, and that's kids. What better thing to come together for than kids? So thank you for smiling and making my night. We want to raise the test scores in the first year by 25%. I don't think that's a problem. We want to increase our graduation rate. We'll be prepared next year. We will be prepared. We're going to have those plans. And as I said, as the councils are trained in Naviance, and the catalogs are available in multiple languages, so everybody can have a plan for graduation. And why not, as I said before, and I'm going to push it again, talk about electives with universities. Great universities that are going to partner with us. Maintain our budget restrictions. We need to be fiscally responsible. If we're going to spend money, where is that return on our investment? We want higher QSAT scores. The last thing I want to do is sit in front of the county superintendent again and be told those scores. That's the last thing I want to do, no offense. Last thing. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. And I can tell you, it will not happen. Increase our enrollment of Englewood schools. This is great. This is great. Go tell your friends that now their kids can come here and get 15 to 30 college credits on us. Go tell your friends that there's a change coming. And you're a part of it, and I'm a part of it, and all these people in the front row and every teacher you see, they're all a part of it because the change is coming. As I mentioned, opportunity for 30 credits. So I've been using this quote, and I love it. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you gotta move forward. And we, starting tonight, my day 80, we are moving forward in Englewood. We are no longer accepted. Spoken at Spelman College, April 1960, by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This hall was named there. If you have any questions or anything, and I've met with a lot of you, and I welcome anybody to come visit with me. I enjoy the conversation. Questions at epsd.org or preguntas at epsd.org. Index cards are available in the back to write your question and leave your contact information. We will get back to you. We will get back to you. And every decision we make now is based on kids and making it better for them. Thank you very much. I told you 30 minutes, we had daycare, we're good.
Again, we'd like to thank you all for coming. We need a motion for adjournment. It's been moved and probably second. Have a good night, everyone.